Breaking news tonight. Police desperately searching for a beautiful little 3-year-old Florida girl, Caylee, after her grandparents report her missing. Little Caylee now not seen for 14 long weeks. Last seen with her mother. So why didn't Mommy call police? Headlines tonight. We learn Mom Casey's movements, her lifestyle, her very thinking in the days leading up to and immediately following her little girl's disappearance. Over 600 pages of investigative files reveal Mom Casey rarely mentioned her daughter, complained she needed a, quote, freaking vacation, inviting friends to hip-hop parties, ladies' nights at clubs, even to a bar's hot body contest. This just days after little Caylee vanishes. Her social life like a roller coaster of men, having manicures, pedicures, even getting a tattoo that says the good life after her daughter is gone. Giddy over a new boyfriend, we learned Casey Anthony borrowed a neighbor's shovel, then backed her car into the family's garage 3 times. Later, that very car towed after she said it ran out of gas, and her family described the smell of death in the car. It ultimately made them frantic. Bombshell new theories emerged tonight. Huge amounts of chloroform found in Mom Casey's car trunk, along with evidence of human decomposition. Reports reveal police now believe Mom Casey disposed of little Caylee in a dumpster near a local check cash business, the same place the car was abandoned. Tonight, why were Casey Anthony's emails just before little Caylee's reported missing deleted? At the same time, a huge chunk of Mom Casey's MySpace messages completely wiped out. Why? And in the last hours, the Zenaida Gonzalez attached to Sawgrass Apartments files a defamation lawsuit against Mom Casey Anthony tonight. Where is Caylee?
Investigative interviews with Casey's friend Amy Huizinga and boyfriend Tony Lazaro reveal new information about a rich social life for Casey Anthony not long after her daughter was lost from the picture.
I lied.
Huizinga tells investigators, I know she has started smoking more pot than she ever had. She would maybe eat a brownie here or there, maybe smoke every once in a great while, but she did tell me that she's been smoking a lot more pot.
That was a lie.
That statement about Casey referred to mid-June, right around the time Caylee was last seen.
Walked her to the stairs. That's where I've dropped her off a bunch of other times. I lied.
So many text messages Casey received and also that she sent out, and those are her favorite topics, who she wanted to have sex with, drinking, and smoking pot. That seemed to be the thing she was concentrating on mostly, not about Caylee.
That was a lie. I dropped her off at that apartment.
No, you didn't.
That's exactly where I dropped her off.
Casey writes, you and the girls should try and come out to Fusion this week. There's a hot body contest. First prize is $50 and a bottle. It's the all-white party.
I lied.
Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us tonight. The desperate search for a beautiful 3-year-old Florida girl, Caylee.
Reams of documents released in the Casey Anthony investigation reveal shocking new details.
That was a lie. She said, hi, Mommy. And she started to tell me a story, talking to me about her shoes and books. I lied.
Boyfriend Tony Lazaro reveals she would wake up or wake me either in the middle of the night, or I would just wake up in the middle of the night and see that she was sweaty in bed. And I would ask her why. And she said that she would have a nightmare.
She was excited, to talk to me. That was a lie. It's the first time I've been away from her for more than a day.
Around the first week of July, Casey told Amy that Caylee was with the nanny at SeaWorld.
I lied.
The investigator asks, she had her nails done that week? Amy says, yeah, I'm pretty sure she had those done on Tuesday.
After about 7 o'clock, when I still hadn't heard anything, I was getting pretty upset, pretty frantic.
Casey gets a tattoo on her shoulder that reads, Buena Vita, good life.
That was a lie.
The investigator says, so she got her fingernails cleaned, done up pretty, and a tattoo in the week that Tony's gone? Amy answers, uh-huh. The investigator says, goes out partying the 2nd and 3rd? Amy says, and the 4th. The 4th, the investigator asks. Amy answers, because we had a 4th of July party.
I wasn't sure what I'd say about not knowing where Caylee was. Still hoping that I would get a call or find out that Caylee was coming back so that I could go get her. But I lied.
In his interview, boyfriend Tony Lazzaro reveals that in the second week of July, after he returned from a trip to New York, he says he and Casey and friends watched a UFC fight at a local restaurant and went grocery shopping the next day.
That was a lie.
You and the girls should try and come out to Fusion this week. There's a hot body contest. First prize, $50 and a bottle. It's the all-white party. Give me a shout. This dated June 25, 10:33 a.m. A few days before 8:05 a.m. Hey, we should get together. Come out to Fusion. Ladies' night till midnight. Give me a call. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. Mark Williams, what's going on?
Boy, oh boy. Your guess is as good as mine, Nancy.
No. I don't have a guess, Mark Williams. I have an educated assumption as to what's happening.
Well,
Continue.
Well, obviously, she sends these text messages to her friend, Brittany Schreiber, who invites her on her birthday to come out to this hot body contest at Fusion, again, for a $50 prize and a bottle of booze. I mean, that was her life after little Caylee allegedly went missing. She had no remorse whatsoever. She did not care whatsoever about what happened to little Caylee, even though she tells investigators that she couldn't live a day without seeing little Caylee. Little Caylee is missing on June 16th, as best as we can find out. And, she's sending these text messages for June 25th, 9 days after Caylee went missing, Nancy.
What did you learn? What jumps out at you about these reams of interviews and text messages we have found?
Well, the big thing is taking a closer look at the documents. Lee Anthony, Casey's older brother, telling investigators that when his sister went back to the house in July, mid-July, around the 14th or 15th, after she had been missing for nearly 30 days, he tried to mediate a bad situation between Casey and her mother. And basically, she said, and I'm quoting from the documents, maybe it's because I'm a spiteful bitch that I cannot produce Caylee, and you won't see Caylee. And it went on like that, and that just knocks everybody's socks off, because she had been stealing, she had been philandering from her parents, she had been driving around, and all this time she's been living with boyfriends.
Out to the lines, we're taking your calls live. Rochelle, Iowa. Hi, Rochelle.
Hi, Nancy.
What's your question, dear?
Do you think that since all these documents have come out that maybe this would open the parents' eyes, maybe that she did have some involvement or?
Let's unleash a lawyer is joining us tonight. A trial lawyer out of Atlanta, Renee Rockwell, and high-profile trial lawyer out of the Seattle jurisdiction, Ann Bremner. What about it, Renee?
This is not going to make any difference, I don't think, with the parents. I think they've already got an opinion, but Nancy, they are standing by the only piece of the family that they have left along those lines. I can totally understand what they're doing.
Ann?
I agree, and the question also is whether or not it makes a difference with the authorities, but of course they already had those documents and they released them, and there are no charges.
Here's part of the documents we're seeing. A lot from Lee Anthony states the smell in the car was atrocious. He couldn't even stand to be next to the car. Over a minute beside the car, he'd have to leave and breathe. Ask sister about it. She said it started when two squirrels crawled up under the hood and died. She later gave a different story, Ann Bremner, stating somebody must have run over an animal, that it was plastered on the front of her car. She can't even keep the story straight about a dead animal.
Well, that squirrel story was a bit too much. I mean,
a bit too much. That's a nice way to put it. I'm talking about a missing little girl.
Well, you are, Nancy, but the thing is, you said it best when you said I have an educated assumption about what this is. Our guess is as good as anybody else's. Can this be charged? And the answer is no right now, even though she lies, and lies some more.
To Karen Stark, psychologist, joining us in New York. The caller, Rochelle from Iowa, wants to know the release of all of these police files. If it does open the parents' eyes, what will they do about it, if anything?
Well, you would think that they would really try then to influence their daughter to get more information. But, Nancy, I truly doubt that it's going to open their eyes. They know what she's like. They've lived with her. And they need to have denial right now.
Why?
Because it's their daughter. They feel connected to her. They want to believe. And that's what denial is all about.
You are seeing more from the police documents. This is more of Lee Anthony regarding getting to the home. That's what we just talked about. It will move on. I want to go out to Nikki Pierce with WDBO Radio. Weigh in, Nikki.
Well, what seems to jump out to me from these documents is just the depiction of her lifestyle, the text messages, the MySpace messages, come party here, come party there. It's clear that there's one reference in 500 and something text messages about Caylee.
What can you tell me about the pot and the pot brownies, Mark Williams?
Well, she mentioned that that people have seen her use a little bit more pot, been using some brownies, and basically she's been on more marijuana than she had been in the past.
Was this
Nancy.
around the time Caylee goes missing?
Yes, it was, Nancy.